So this beast, absolute beast of a book, this was typically what everything was based upon. Colours of salmon a la Russe, ravioli, I mean, you can go on. I mean, chicken puree, and it went on and on and on. This is the knowledge bank that one had to attempt to learn. Hard, difficult, based about memory. I remember when I think a guy came in a little van once a month, and he used to show you the books, and then you'd sign up, and then he'd come back every week and he'd take something like 15-25 pence a week for you to buy this book over a couple of years or something like that. I'm probably talking rubbish, but so having your books, your encyclopedia, your knowledge, and having your own knives that no one else borrowed or used was absolutely essential. But yeah, great piece of knowledge that. Of course, one always had to balance that with other really important things. But so I finally decided to leave home and go and live in the hotel. However, I probably regretted I didn't really have a lot of time to spend with my father. He was an absolute Volvo fanatic, kept changing his Volvo estate car all the time, and my mother had a Scottish deerhound that used to roam around the house, like it's a very graceful kind of piece. But my father found it rather amusing when I turned up one day wearing a lime green Kawasaki motorcycle racing suit, which I used to sit on my brand new Z400 Kawasaki that I bought from Scarborough Kawasaki, which was very economical and very sensible and very boring, exactly what I didn't really want. But there you go. So my best friend, Uncle Robert Surrey, who was also a chef in those days, he bought a KH250, which was a triple two-stroke, and this thing used to chuck out so much smoke and noise, it was unbelievable. And he used to ride this thing and take incredible risks, but never really fell off. It was in those days when I had a bit of a shining for a young lady who was a receptionist called Ruth, and she drove a Datsun 120Y car in bright orange, and she used to live somewhere she used to work in the hotel, but she used to work near Grimsby. What am I talking about? No, she used to live somewhere near Grimsby, but work in the hotel. I remember one day we had a rather mature kitchen cleaner that used to work in the afternoon called Mrs. Purvis, and she was rather absent-minded, and who isn't, but she used to clean the fryers and filtrate the oil and then scrub them out and all the rest of it, and all the residue in the bottom of the fryers. And I think one day she cleaned the fryer out, scrubbed the whole thing clean, left some debris in the bottom, and turned it on with no oil in. Probably was a bit of oil actually in the bottom of it, and it caught fire. And I'll never forget myself and another chef who were wandering through the kitchen at the time, and she was running towards this fryer with a bit of oil in the bottom. It was on fire with a bucket full of cold water, which I remember one of the chefs grabbing her and pushing her to the ground and stopping her from attacking the fryer with water, which would have been an absolute disaster. Funny how those things kind of stick in your brain. And the Roux Brothers published a book, chef's book, yeah, amazing. And then somebody called Anton Mosiman, he kind of appeared on the scene with his big tall hat and his big pen that stuck in the front of it. But there was nobody ever around that was English. But I remember doing a wedding where I was allowed to be creative with the presentation of the cold meat salad, and I kind of made it rather minimalist with little pieces of watercress stalk and leaves, and made it rather pretty and grated some orange on top of the whole presentation of the thing. And I was called into the manager's office on the Monday morning expecting to be, carted off somewhere and shot, but actually they loved the whole piece of work of it, even though I was a young guy and a comic chef and all the rest of it. But yeah, so whatever Hull College said, and indeed my school, and I may have failed my cycle proficiency, but the motorcycling thing was getting pretty good. I used to really enjoy it.